Okay, this video is going to show you how to add the cap to this part studio of a Hydroflask. Using, and think of it as this way, this is a master sketch kind of document. So the first thing we're going to want to do is turn that master sketch back on. In this master sketch, I'm going to actually turn that off so that you can see it. Actually, I'll turn off that curve too. So you can see this is the cap, except if you think about a Hydroflask cap, it actually comes down inside the bottle for some distance as well. So what you're going to want to do is revolve, and we do want it to be a new part, and so I'm going to pick this part and that part, and this is that double area that I talked about before, and the revolve axis was red again, so we're going to pick any one of these center lines as the revolve axis, and we'll just green check that. Now I'm going to rename this the cap, and I want to make that part a little bit darker so that it looks black. However, I don't pick black because you lose any of these extra, like contour lines that help you see features better when you make it completely black. So I would say just make it a dark gray. Okay, now this next one, if I turn this bottle back on, and let's do a section view, you will see here, oh, those are red, not because the part is red, but it's showing that there's an interference between the two parts, meaning that those two parts are living in the same area or the same volume of this part studio. So there's an interference. So that's just its Onshape's way of warning you of that problem. What we're going to do to fix that problem is we're going to use the Boolean tool. Now you might remember this from some math classes. It looks like these two circles because a Boolean will show you where two different objects are together, or you could add them, you could subtract them, or the intersection of those two. So the tool, actually we want to subtract, because what that means is you're going to subtract one part's volume from another's part, or another part's volume. And so the tool is what you are, like think of it as what you're cutting away or what you're sawing or drilling away. So the tool in this case would be the bottle, because that's what we want to use as the shape to remove, and the target that we're removing, or the part we're removing from, is the target. And now if I click that, and you do want to say keep tools, because sometimes you might create a tool just so that you can cut away a shape, but in this case we actually want to keep the tool, which is the bottle. I don't want that program to delete the bottle. And let me just green check this, and now that might all make sense. So now if you look, that area in between here is no longer red because there's no interference. Let me turn off the master sketch and you might see that better. I'll also show you, if I hide the bottle, you'll now see that the cap actually has the shape taken away from it that was the bottle. And what's great about this in this case, you might say, well, that would have been easy to do on our own, but now that the threaded feature up on that cylinder is actually subtracted as well. Now, the only thing that we're going to fix here is typically in the manufacturing world, two things aren't exactly the same size. So normally the hole for this threaded cylinder would be a little bit bigger than the threaded cylinder itself. So I'm going to go back into the Boolean and say offset. And let me turn on the bottle. And the faces we want to offset. The distance we're going to offset is, let me look that up. So let's just go back to here so that I see what I did in the past. Oh, I guess I didn't offset it. Oh, yes, that's because there's also a tool I want you to learn called Move Face. So let's forget about that for now, but that is an option if you ever need it. And now what we're going to do, what I just talked about, but that is easier to control in a tool called Move Face rather than trying to control it in the Boolean. So I'm going to type in here Move Face, and there is that. And so the faces to move, it will be easier to select if you can hide the bottle. So we can move the cylindrical face, and basically all of those. And where is the amount that I want to? By 10,000ths of an inch, or 0.01. All right, so let's go back and say 0.01. And did it go the wrong way? Let's see. How would we know if it didn't go the correct way? You could do that. Oh, nope. You can see now there's interference in there. So yes, we must have moved it in the wrong direction. So let's flip that. And now you can see there's no red, and it actually has space in between. So that just sort of indicates that that cap does not fit exactly perfectly, which is the way it would be in real life. So that's the combination of Boolean and move face that is a really good trick to use for situations like this.